Grover. Grover. Hi, Grover. Hi, how are you? Okay, so this is Grover and this is Fergus. So here's the story, and that's Miss Lily. This is the first 24 hours of Grover in our house. It's been about 24 hours. He does have a very weird haircut. And here's the story. I'm not going to tell you his original name to keep his owner anonymous, but he was running loose in the neighborhood. He's an Old English sheepdog, and he's about 5 years old, we think. Do you want to go outside, Grover? Oh, you're so cute. Let's go outside for just a few minutes. And the story is this. He was running the neighborhood, and as a lot of herding dogs do, he was chasing trucks and cars. And we were concerned he was going to end up being hit and killed. And so, let's go out and see the ducks, Grover. So, the concern was that we've tracked down the owner. This was several months ago. And the owner was a man in his late 20s who lived a street over. He was telling us that his wife, who was also in her 20s, was in physical rehab from having a heart attack / stroke, and that they were both disabled veterans, and that his wife had the heart attack and stroke because the VA was giving them too much medication. Now, when he was telling me this, he himself had like pinpoint pupils and looked high as a kite, and it was dusk. So he, I think, was on some sort of opiates himself. I'm not sure, prescribed or otherwise, as we do have a heroin problem here. After this dog coming over to our home many, many times, my husband was concerned that this dog was going to end up dead on the road. And so he said to him, if he comes over here one more time, he's going to be, we're going to call animal control, and you can deal with them. We knew that he had already had a one run-in with animal control because they had microchipped him, and they had his microchip number. The owner hadn't microchipped him. Animal control had microchipped him. We also knew he had told us that the dog threw up a lot, and his roommate was letting the dog out when he would throw up. We noticed he was coughing and gagging. Now, this was back in the fall, and here we are in the early spring. Oh, let's look at the ducks. We don't have to, or let's look at Fergus. Fergus is our Gordon setter, who is 10. And then Lily's our golden retriever, who is 12. My husband said, if you can't take care of him, we would offer to take care of him. Well, 2 to 3 months later, he shows up at our door yesterday morning telling us that he's going through a divorce with his first wife. It's not the woman he's with now, and he has to sell the house. They have 2 other dogs, another purebred medium-sized dog and a little mixed breed dog, and he's going to have to move to another state and live with grandma. And they only have a little car, so they have to find this dog a home. So he gives us the dog, no collar, no paperwork, nothing. We know he has this coughing problem. We don't think it's kennel cough because we know it's been going on for at least 3 months. He tells us he needs all his shots. He had his shots originally, but hasn't had them updated. So in the first 24 hours, what we did was we immediately went to the vet. Our vet is very great vet practice, but they are sorely understaffed right now, and they couldn't give us an appointment for a month, but we were able to get his microchip number again and a rabies vaccine. Then we scheduled him for a grooming, got him a collar and an anti-pull harness, because we're not sure if possibly the coughing is due for a very sensitive throat. We used to have a Irish setter who had the same issue. We have the collar on him very loose, not using it on the leash. So he's going to be groomed tomorrow. He has an appointment at the end of the month, but we may have to take him in sooner on an emergency basis if the coughing gets worse. He's had about 2 or 3 incidents of coughing and gagging in the last 24 hours. I highly suspect he's probably heartworm positive. They gave him this funny haircut, so we're going to have that taken care of. He's a very sweet dog. He doesn't seem to bother the ducks or the chickens. He's just figuring out about the rabbits. He's deferring for Fergus, who's the pack leader and obviously very bossy. But I'm sure we're going to have some adjustment issues. We need to get a full medical workup. The other thing is he's not neutered, which is just wonderful. Somebody lifted their leg in the house today. Ducks blaming Fergus, but I'm thinking it was this guy because I also noticed he lifted his leg on the porch, and Fergus never does that. So we're going to have some rough spots. He will be the 5th dog that we've rescued. We've had 4 other rescues before. I said I wasn't going to take another rescue dog, but when your husband says I've always wanted an old English sheepdog. The other thing is our local shelter here is defunct right now. They lost their license. These people couldn't take him there because they're not taking animals right now. They would have had to gone to the next city. It's really quite a mess. We weren't able to even get him a dog license, because there's nobody doing that in our county right now. I suspect that's going to be resolved in the next month or so, and then we'll be able to get him a license. And Fergus flushed a rabbit. And this guy could care less about the rabbit running behind him. So keep posted on rescuing Grover. We're calling him Grover. Grover, you getting to know your new name? You need a new name. Yeah, you do. So we'll keep you posted. We don't know much about him other than he's probably about 4 or 5 years old, and he's an old English sheepdog, and he's very sweet. But he needs a lot of work. He has not been properly cared for. So check back and we'll let you know how Grover's doing.